Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Tata Aria and this car comes courtesy of Durga Car Decor to me. So make sure to give them a follow by clicking on the pinned comment on the link to Instagram, of course. Now this is actually the pre-facelift version of the Aria. The Aria got a facelift wherein it became a little bit more refined in terms of appeal and slight feature additions as well, and you can call it actually the predecessor of the Hexa because the Hexa is actually based on the Aria. Anyways, it has got opposite facing wipers. That's kind of unique. The design was really very nice and Tata had put so many features in this car. In fact, this was the first Tata car with traction control and ESP. Now to almost every Tata car is getting that feature. The wheels are also massive, giving it good amount of grip as well. The tire size happens to be 235/65/17 black colored wheels. Awesome. Okay, I like the fact that the mirror does not touch the body. Gives it sort of a sporty feel. It has a lot of I would say body as such. It's kind of a fat car, but it's long. It's really very long. It's humongous. It's big. This was actually based on the Safari, you can say, because it shares the same engine. Anyways, more refined here, of course. Dual exhaust tips as well, and obviously a lot of Indica bits too. Prestige is the name of the variant. This car doesn't have a reverse parking camera. This is the boot of the vehicle. Boot seems kind of functional as such. Okay, there is space here and you can recline the seats if you so wish to increase the boot carrying capacity. But oh my god, this is actually what? Maybe storage space, I don't know, a tray, whatever you want to call it. Here we can put it back as well to increase the boot carrying capacity. It's a 50-50 split, of course. They actually gave a reverse parking camera later, which unfortunately had real poor quality. Yes, it was a rear camera. Anyways, let's get inside. Now there are a lot of USPs inside this car. For starters, it has got 8 freaking airbags. I kid you not, it's got 8 airbags. That's insane. Okay, the door almost opens 90 degrees. Take that, Tata Altroz. And it's easy to get in and out. Door pockets are massive. It's a very practical car. Getting into the rear seat, very easy. Just pull this lever with one hand. You can recline it. That's as easy as it gets. And then obviously I'm sure this also flips forward or something of that sort. Now this happens to be it happens to be a 7-seater. Here, seat can be reclined for added comfort. There's a center armrest. AC vents are there. Where are they? Okay, here are the AC vents. The last row of seats are kind of not that great. So it competed with the Innova but did not have the best rear seat space, and there are AC vents there as well. Handle to hold on to because this car has a lot of body roll. It's got these cubby holes on the top. Have you ever seen something like this? Open it and there is a cubby hole. That's obnoxious, and there's a light in the third row as well. In the second row, in the first row, everywhere there's light. But I'm not going to open all the cubby holes, but you get the gist. Cubby holes, I mean, if I keep something here, it's going to fall off. But hey, that was a unique idea to improve the practicality of the car. I like the interior color treatment. It looks really nice. It has this sort of a maroon treatment. And both the driver and the co-passenger actually get proper armrests as well. This car was super duper practical, but unfortunately, it was way ahead of its time. Yeah, it was way early. So a Tata car which costed almost 20 lakh rupees, no. But now the Safari top end gold edition costs 28 lakh rupees on road Mumbai and people love it. Anyways, door pockets are massive and here very European like controls. This car has plenty of features for its time. Seats are very comfortable as well. Let's get inside. Okay, steering could have been better. The switches were not the best. The audio controls, that is. The screen is chintu mintu. Let's do one thing. Let's turn on the car. Where are the keys? I kind of lost the keys. Anyways, here you press this and there is a cubby hole there as well. How much storage can a car get? Well, Tata Aria does get a lot of it. And it also had these functional visors. Meanwhile, no auto dimming inside rearview mirror. It wasn't a trend that time. I'm just checking if there's a mirror. Yeah, there is a mirror along with a light as well. So very practical car. Super impressive. Here I'm going to turn it on, which means getting it into neutral. Here we are, and it rose to life. I don't like the steering design, to be honest. Parking assistance it shows with question marks on a triangle. That's kind of weird. Lot of buttons here, the usual bit. Climate control, air conditioning as well. Instrument cluster feels a little basic, I would say. It says park brake on, and yeah, instrument cluster is kind of basic, but let's drive this beast because the dashboard is massive. It's going to be a different experience altogether. Alright, we're all set to go. Now it rose to life. It is so much more refined than the Safari, although it shares the same engine, the 2.2 litre motor. But when you rev it, you can hear quite a bit. Car feels heavy because of course it is quite heavy as such, and then when you push it, the insulation could have been a lot better, but hey, I'm not complaining right now. Onto the gas. Doesn't rev very cleanly as such, but I guess the air filter might be clogged. Okay, the steering wheel is very weird here. and it offers decent amount of feel and feedback. Body roll is obviously there, but feels contained. It's actually quite fun to drive. However, the body roll now, it gets amplified as you speed up because of the soft suspension. The suspension is really soft. That's the reason the ride quality is super duper awesome. It's very smooth, very nice, but then vertical movement, you can see that. And then it thuds through over bad roads. Now this 2.2 litre diesel engine actually produces 140 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. This car was priced between 12 to 19 lakhs. So I believe it was launched in 2010 and then they gave it a facelift in around 2014 or something of that sort. I had actually gone to Tata Motors plant to drive this car, Aria, and they have a helipad where we were trying to drift the car. The earlier models, when they were launched, only offered 4-wheel drive, and Tata Motors is like, we will only give 4-wheel drive, we will not give 4x2 because this car is all about 4-wheel drive capability. It's like the ease of driving a sedan with the capabilities of an SUV is where they pitched it, and they didn't call it an SUV, they called it a crossover. But you know, people did not really buy it at that time. Tata's image was very different. Now they've worked on it for sure. Feels a little jerky, the powertrain, but you know, the clutch is slightly on the heavier side. The gearbox is slightly notchy as well, but then it shifts properly if you get the hang of doing it, of course. So that time when Tata Motors launched the Aria initially, they were like, very positive about selling a lot of numbers, and they were like, no 4-wheel by, what am I saying? No 4x2 needed. They only offered it in 4x4. Then later they came with 4x2, and then 1 year later they gave the facelift. They launched the facelift. Ironically, this is a very weird car in the sense that the Bluetooth system only works with the telephone, not with the music. I don't know why that's the case. And the Ulta wipers, like the Honda Civic, they are also pretty cool. I think this is a USP which obviously the Hexa carries forward. So right now when driving in the city, I realized there's some amount of turbo lag, but thankfully it has got a very wide power band which helps its cause. Taking a U-turn is quite a lot of effort because the turning radius is massive. Look at the amount. It occupied 4-5 lanes to make that turn, of course. And onto the gas, rev still almost 4,800 RPM. So because of the turbo lag, they decided, chalo ek kaam karte hain, wide torque band de dete hain. So the power band is actually quite wide enough, which makes it quite easy to drive this car. And I said quite twice, so just don't listen to one of the quiets there. Anyways, engine is very tractable. Once you get into third gear, once you pass the lag, it really pulls forward very nicely. The steering kind of feels vague in the center or rather the straight ahead position. Otherwise, this was a very decent effort by Tata Motors. But yet again, this car was way ahead of its time. And that's the reason it did not sell in the numbers it deserved to, because 8 freaking airbags. Tell me which car comes with 8 airbags. Tata Motors used to offer it 11 years back. That is so freaking cool. Now, obviously, they had not ironed out all the issues. There were certain issues in this car which Tata Motors tried to iron out with the facelift which came in 2014. Not only did they make cosmetic changes, you have to downshift because of the turbo lag. Not only did they make cosmetic changes, but they also went ahead and gave this engine 10 horsepower extra to improve the overall performance of the vehicle. Although 10 horsepower doesn't make much of a difference. So it was making, I think, 8 horsepower probably. 148 horsepower, and this one 140 horsepower. Feels good. The problem with the Aria was that it was sitting alongside the Safari, and you know, the Safari is such a cult following. Even though both of them are based on a body on frame platform, Tata Motors missed the boat that time by offering another Safari-like car. Meanwhile, Mahindra went and made the XUV500 on a monocoque platform, and that actually made a big change in the way the car is sold, because people were like, okay, if you want something to build our muscles or hit the gym while driving, we will take the Safari, not the Aria. But we want something comfort oriented from Tata Motors, which is monocoque, easy to drive, which this car is not really, because I mean, it's big in terms of size, and then obviously you have to deal with the body roll and the heavy steering and the wake steering and stuff, and around the corners there's considerable amount of body roll. In fact, you know, it doesn't really point and shoot where you want it to. You're not pretty sure where the car is actually going. But this was not about fun driving, because obviously of the size and the weight, it had considerable body roll. However, in terms of packaging and practicality, fantastic, great ride quality, really impressive in certain ways. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. Should Tata get the Hexa back? I think they should, but I don't think they will.